By the way, September 17th is the driver's day. Okay.
Right.
So at least on that particular day, किसी को गाली मत देना. Everywhere सब बोलते हैं हम तो end to end solution निकलते हैं online supply chain visibility फलाना टिकाना सब आप लोग बोलते हो. Many have come and many have gone. Okay.
Right.
So the longevity of any of the startups with with the focus on improving the living and working conditions of truck drivers, it's all hawa mein baat. Thing is that most of the guys startups in the transport segment all talk technology. Technology is an enabler. See, ये काम अगर आप सचमुच ड्राइवर को जिंदगी में परिवर्तन लेके आना चाहते हो, आपको जमीन पर उतरना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, ड्राइवर्स won't come to your air conditioned office and sit on your beanbag next to you and with you having your headphone and talking, chatting. ये सब नहीं चलेगा भाई साहब. अगर उनसे उनको दर्द को समझना है तो आप उनके साथ जाके ढाबा में बैठना पड़ेगा, ट्रांसपोर्ट नगर में बैठना पड़ेगा, ट्रकों में घूमना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, वो आपके पास नहीं आएगा. चना डालेगा तो मंकी आएगा ना. So give the right kind of compensation is the major thing. There is no job security, there is no social security. AC has become going to mandatory or whatever it is. ये सब अरे यार हमारा खर्चा बढ़ जाएगा, ड्राइवर की क्यों जरूरत है, उसका घर में भी एसी नहीं है, गाड़ी तो गाड़ी में वो एसी में चलाने के बाद घर में जाके वो मतलब गर्मी में रहेगा, अच्छा नहीं है, उसका तबीयत के लिए ठीक नहीं है, ऐसा बोलने वाला भी है. You don't need to be an engineer, don't need to be a school, even you don't have to be a 10th class pass. It's not required. Okay, so most of the drivers all get trained by the chacha, papa, neighbor, वैसा.
Have you ever wondered how this trucks gets from one location to another location? Or have you ever thought that you will travel thousands of kilometers in sitting in these trucks? Our today's guest done all these things. He have traveled more than 30,000 kilometers across India in trucks. He has spoke to millions and millions truck drivers, and he have taken a pledge that he will write everything, whatever these drivers feel. So today we are going to talk about how this Desh Chaalak works and what are the things they are feeling right now. So welcome Mr. Ramesh. He is a writer. He have written so many blogs. You can check out his blogs, and he have written 5 books. One of books is coming soon. So please do check out this blog and understand how this drivers feels and works just to deliver your one thing. Yes, Ramesh, so first beginning, I would like you to little bit explain that what you do and like how we met and what we are going to talk about for audience.
Yes, look, I'm open to talk on anything under the sun. Okay, I'm basically a happy-go-lucky person. Okay, so I love films, I love songs, I watch movies, I travel a lot. Okay, and I observe. I mean, for me, travel means observing. Okay, so travel, observe, and I write. I blog a lot. I've been blogging since 2004. Okay, so almost the last 20 years I've been blogging. So, well, that's what I write what I want to say. So there is no ifs and buts. It will be very difficult for me to really, I can't camouflage. If I don't like you, I'll tell on your face, I don't like you, Pratik. If I like you, I'll tell you I like you. So there is no question of, no, you're such a sweet person and go behind the back and say, Pratik is a lousy man. No, I don't do that. Okay. So, well, as a techie, you understand, what you see is what you get.
Yeah, so that I have already felt with yours. So I would like to know how the condition right now of Indian drivers, long haul drivers, and what is the future of it, right? Do you see that lots of young drivers are coming in industry who are good and they are well educated, or is it going to decrease the number of drivers in India?
Look, this is a very interesting question that is. I mean, well, government also says there is a 22% driver shortage, all those kind of things. See, agar aap, chana dalega to monkey aayega na. So give the right kind of compensation is the major thing. There is no job security, there is no social security. Agar aapko accident ho gaya to do cheez ho sakte hain. One, you become handicapped or you die. Okay, if you become handicapped, no fleet owner will hire you as a driver, even if you wear a Jaipur foot or whatever it is. Okay, if you're earning around like a 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 as a truck driver, suddenly you have been rendered. You have to set up a dukaan, pan ka dukaan aapka gaon mein. 3,000, 4,000 har mahine aayega to, life takes a hit. Okay, if you die again, your family comes on the road. There is nothing to help you. There is no insurance. A fleet owners will say, Babiji, 5,000 rupiah lakho, maybe 30,000, 40,000, maybe a lakh of rupees they will give you. And say, namaste, aap, dekhbhal karo, aap dekh lo. So, how long a lakh of rupees also come? Okay. So the family comes on the road. Okay. So having said that, okay. So I don't see, there will be yes, if you give good amount of money, you will get drivers. And now see, look, the roads all become much better. The vehicles have become much better. Now Mr. Gadkari is talking about making vehicles air conditioned. Okay, that's a good move. And I mean that too, only the new trucks will be made air conditioned. लेकिन इतना करोड़ों गाड़ियां घूम रहे हैं, उसके
Right.
अंदर जितना गाड़ी के अंदर एसी हमें मालूम नहीं है. वो दूसरी बात है. सी मैंने बहुत साल पहले भी ऐसा, वो लोग एक जमाने में जो ट्रक बेचते थे, वो लोग कहते थे हम आपको एसी वाला घोड़ा ही देंगे. घोड़ा मतलब प्राइम
Hmm.
फ्रॉम बैक द ड्राइवर सेक्शन. लेकिन ये लोग खरीदते थे, फ्लीट ओनर्स खरीदते थे, लेकिन एक बार गैस खत्म होने के बाद उसको रिफिल नहीं करते. ओके, सो ये वो खर्च बढ़ जाता है, खर्च बढ़ जाता है. Okay, so now again, I mean, even now, if you, I mean, ever since the government announced that AC has become going to mandatory or whatever it is, ये सब अरे यार हमारा खर्चा बढ़ जाएगा, ड्राइवर के लिए क्यों जरूरत है, उसका घर में तो एसी नहीं है, गाड़ी तो गाड़ी में वो एसी में चलाने के बाद घर में जाके वो मतलब गर्मी में रहेगा, अच्छा नहीं है, उसका तबीयत के लिए ठीक नहीं है, ऐसा बोलने वाला भी है. There are some people who say that's a good thing. Okay, and yes, see, look, all said and done, lot so many, lakhs of people are coming out of colleges with a paper degree, and the government is unable to create that many jobs. Okay, so but here is a good option. Okay, with the I mean, truck drivers without any education. See, look, after 1 year, even 6 months, 1 year, they can easily make 20,000-30,000 rupees arams. Okay, so even an MBA, suppose you're an MBA, come out of your college with an MBA degree, इधर भी आप इंटर्न भर जाते हो, कितना पैसा मिलता है. So you are also an MBA guy, you know it much better than me.
Right.
Okay, so with the least amount of, but for the simple reason, for a truck driving, it doesn't require any hi-fi. You don't need to be an engineer. Don't need to be a school. Even you don't know how to be a 10th class pass. It's not required. Okay, so
Right.
most of the drivers all get trained by the chacha, papa, neighbor, वैसा है. So yes, moreover, more and more, higher payload vehicles are coming. It is no longer like a 2 ton, 6 ton, 9 ton, 16 ton. Now we can even move 55 tons also. So small gaudis all get get out of the way. Big gaudis come. When the big gaudi comes, instead of 5 drivers, you need maybe 2 drivers, not one driver. So even the number also, the demand for drivers also comes down. And moreover, the roads have become much better. If earlier, if you have in a 24-hour cycle, a single driver was driving around 250 kilometers. Today, he आराम से 500 kilometers चलाता है. Since this guy's compensation is based on इतना किलोमीटर चलाता है, उतना पैसा है. More kilometers चलाओ, more पैसा मिलता है. So the roads are better. The things are getting better and better. Yes, if you ask me on a scale of 1 to 10, okay, I mean 2010, I would have said, "Arey yaar, bekar hai." Okay, today I'll say, okay, chalo yaar, I'll give them 3 marks, 4 marks kind of stuff. Things are getting better, but there is no other option but to become better for a simple reason. Everybody realizes. I mean, the fleet, the truck makers also realize that we have to make ergonomic, better truck cabins. Okay, then the fleet owners also realize, अरे यार हम पहले जितना पैसा देते थे वो पैसा देगा तो हमें कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. So they also started paying them better than what it used to be. Okay, drivers also, I mean, actually it became like a driver's market. Driver हुकुम चलाता है. तो बहुत मोटर मालिक मुझसे आके कहते हैं, रमेश जी आप तो इतना ड्राइवर के साथ देख इतना बात कर रहे हो, हमारे बारे में थोड़ा सोचो. हम भी so we are also hit. Okay, it's not that hash कर रहे हैं, हम नहीं है. So मतलब things, see, look, everything gets over a period of time things will settle down, but it's a work in progress. Maybe by the time I I'm 67 now, by the time I become 80, if I live, I see a much better, much better, like a driver life kind of. Yes, and moreover, don't forget the fact that the government is building, like a Bharatmala, Pariyojana, and all those kind of a thing. Freight movement to facilitate faster movement of seamless traffic of trucks. Better roads are being built. ये road रास्ता बनता किसका? Train चलाने के लिए करता है क्या? Okay, so truck चलाने के लिए करता है. So much better trucks are coming, much better roads are coming. So obviously, so here is a chance for educated, like even graduates, if you don't have, because moreover, inside the truck cabin, the onboard gadgets are becoming electronic and all those kind of BS6 and BS7, BS, I mean, this all going to improve. So it all requires, like पहले जैसा, पहले जैसा, knowledge काफी नहीं है. You need to understand, all this electronic stuff also. So, like over a period of time, more and more better educated guys will get into it and things will improve. That's what I'm hopeful. Yeah.
Being a startup, right? What we should do to improve drivers' life and how we can make impactful changes in the Indian drivers industry.
Okay, I mean, it's a very interesting question. So you are a startup, okay? So like I understand. See there are umpteen number of startups in the trucking transport segment. Everywhere सब बोलते हैं हम तो end-to-end solution निकलते हैं, online supply chain visibility, फलाना टिकाना सब आप लोग बोलते हो. Okay, and many have come and many have gone. Okay,
Right.
so
Hmm.
the longevity of any of the startups with with a focus on improving the living and working conditions of truck drivers, it's all hawa mein baat. See, yes, some people really make some impact, but not all. Maybe 2 out of 10 maybe making some impact. The thing is that most of the guys startups in the transport segment, they all talk technology, technology, technology. Technology is an enabler. See, ये काम अगर आप सचमुच ड्राइवर को जिंदगी में परिवर्तन लेके आना चाहते हो, आपको जमीन पर उतरना पड़ेगा. ठीक है,
True.
ड्राइवर्स वोंट कम टू योर एयर कंडीशन ऑफिस एंड सिट ऑन योर बीन बैग नेक्स्ट टू यू एंड विथ यू हैविंग योर हेडफोन एंड टॉकिंग चैटिंग. ये सब नहीं चलेगा भाई साहब. अगर उनसे
True.
उनको दर्द को समझना है तो आप उनके साथ जाके ढाबा में बैठना पड़ेगा, ट्रांसपोर्ट नगर में बैठना पड़ेगा, ट्रकों में घूमना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, वो आपके पास नहीं आएगा. ठीक है, वो नहीं आएगा. ठीक है, लेकिन उनका अंदर बहुत गुस्सा है. Okay, so under a lot of anger inside them, if you want to, you have to listen to them. So to listen to them, you have to go to them, not sitting inside your air
Hmm.
conditioner. Yes, gradually, some of the guys, some of the techies are realizing that remote approach नहीं चलेगा. ठीक है, supply chain visibility is fine, but लेकिन nothing like see what even now both of us are talking thanks to technology. So we are hardly 15 kilometers away, but talking even I may be sitting in America, you may be sitting in America and talking to me thousands of kilometers away. Technology enabled it, but nothing like like a few like last week both of us sat next to each other, and I touched you, you touched me, and we shook hands, and joke marte the. Okay, so that that one-to-one, face-to-face interaction can never replace this kind of technological kind of. ठीक
True.
है, आप ठीक है, आप लोग ने कंट्रोल टावर से वो ये रेड डॉट मूव होता है, अरे यार ये गाड़ी नंबर सो सो, इसके अंदर ये जो फलाना ठिकाना ड्राइवर बैठा है, उनका मोबाइल नंबर ये है, उनसे बात करो, ये सब ठीक है. कभी आपने सोचा है जाके एक बार मिलो, वो ड्राइवर जिससे बात कर रही हो उनसे जाके मिलो, उनका दर्द को समझ लो, उनका परिवार के बारे में कभी आपने कुछ पूछा है, कभी उनका गांव में जाके बात किया, उनका परिवार से बात किया, कुछ नहीं किया. सो टिल यू क्रिएट, माय फाइनल स्टेटमेंट इज दैट टिल यू क्रिएट या ड्राइवर कनेक्ट, कम्युनिटी कनेक्ट, परिवार कनेक्ट. Okay, so the startups will continue to be startups. They can never grow up, they can never mature. Today they may be like hundreds of them, tomorrow there may another 100 will come. Okay, the earlier 100 may go. Okay, so there
Right.
is a need for a, yes. Having said that, the final word is that most of the startups are all young guys like you. Okay, plus all the fleet owning companies also, there is a generational transition. A lot of youngsters have taken over. So the senior chacha, papa, okay, all dadaji, nanaji, they all moved out, and well-educated, tech-savvy guys are moved in, and they realized the need for a human touch. Okay, so that is gradually happening in the fleet owning companies. I
Hmm.
mean, startups are all most of it all like a zero asset or light asset model. So I mean,
Right.
the guys really need to get out of your chambers, get onto the highways, get onto the dabas, get onto move, meet people, and put all your stuff also. See, every single guy who is working in a startup in a trucking segment, transport segment, really need to be pushed into onto the highways. Go spend time with
True.
them. Okay, like in China during the like Cultural Revolution or Mao Zedong time, they used to say barefoot doctors. After you become a doctor, they're all sent into the villages to go and practice the villages for a certain amount of. It's like conscription.
Right.
Similarly, all the tech companies or startups like you should send all your staff into the field, mix with the driver. Then आप उनका दर्द को समझ सकते. Well, once you understand उनका दर्द को समझ सकते, then your attitude towards anybody will become much better. ठीक है?
True, sir.
That's all
True.
I would like to say.
So, sir, you are writing from very long, right? And especially surrounding drivers and logistics, right? So, if I ask you what you have seen that changed the entire industry so far, so in terms of drivers, the behavior, we talk a lot about driver behaviors, and getting good work from them, it's very difficult. So, if you can little bit mention that what has been changed from start to right now.
Yeah, see, look, my my love or fixation with drivers, highways all started while I was in Muscat. Okay, I was
Mhm.
working in Muscat for a leading publishing house.
Mhm.
Okay, and I was like in charge of a couple of magazines on the economic and business side, plus some lifestyle magazines also. A very leading publishing company there. So like Friday, that is the Jumma ka din, like घूमने का वक्त, I used to run into a lot of Indians.
Mhm.
Okay, लेकिन ये सब बहुत लोग तो like हिंदी बिल से है, उत्तर प्रदेश, झारखंड, बिहार. So they used to wear like absolutely fancy dress. That's a holiday. Friday is a holiday. So they used to wear some fancy dress and come to cafes, roadside cafes, and hathon mein, like keep a can of one of those soft drinks, and keep chatting. And I used to wonder who these guys are. See, I'm a very curious cat, so I used to like start chatting with them, and I realized that they are all truck drivers working in Oman, Muscat. Okay.
Hmm.
So I used to ask them, आप लोग इधर क्यों आए हो? भारत देश में काम नहीं मिलता है क्या?
Hmm.
So they used to say that like काम तो मिलता है लेकिन कमाई तो बहुत कम है. So I used to ask them, like कितना पैसा कमाते हो? So they used to
Hmm.
say that, look, if they're making around like 3,000, 4,000 rupees back in India, anywhere in Hindi belt as a truck driver, here they are all making 15 plus. Okay, so that was a huge money.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I used to ask them about what is the life like, like how is a truck, like a cabin, like a driver cabin, all those things. That is where I started, trying to understand the drivers. Then I also started noticing the, like lane discipline. See, they follow the American style of driving on the, they are not keep left, they are keep right. Okay, so the lanes are dedicated and they'll never ever move from the lane. Okay, so very, all Indians, whether it's a passenger car drivers or truck drivers, they all follow the rules. Lane discipline is incredible. And you won't believe, I lived there almost for 6 or 7 years, and I hardly heard, anybody honking horns. Indians.
Yeah.
The same guy, when they come back, suddenly, the moment they touch down in India, they're, उनका असली रूप निकल के आता है.
Correct.
The only, the difference which you notice is, if you travel in Delhi metro, okay, so where you go, you see that you are not in India. Like the Delhi metro station, the behavior of people is totally different from the same Delhi guys outside the metro station, the way they fight to get into jostle to get into a bus or whatever it is. Okay, so like that's where my interest in drivers developed. Then side by side, I was also started looking at supply chain logistics. People used to be proud, like I'm working for like a DHL, I work for FedEx, I work for Falana Tikana logistic company. So I said, okay, like I was getting exposed to logistics supply chain as I knew logistics supply chain for a simple reason. Like I was born in like Tamil Nadu. So my grandfather used to post retirement used to work for a transport company. Okay, I'm talking about like 70s, early 70s, 1970s. I don't know whether you're born. I don't think you're born that time. Okay, so like during school holidays, summer vacation, my grandfather used to take me to his office. I used to sit around and I used to interact with the drivers. Okay, long haul drivers. So like they all used to talk about their adventures of trucking, okay. I think so. That way, my association with the trucking goes back to 1970s. Okay, and I never knew that like a couple of decades later, I will get deep into trucking.
Right.
So then 2009 December I came back to India once for all. Okay, before that, what happened? Of course, like once I asked my boss there, I would like to travel from north to south, North Oman. That is from the Iran border to Salalah is the southern border of Oman. It is around 1,700 kilometers or something. I said I would like to travel and write about my road experience. Somehow it was shot down. Okay, so I said, "ठीक है, चलो चलता है." Like but the fire has been lit. Okay, I felt that I've been deprived of an like experience of traveling on the highway over such a 1,700 kilometers. So anyhow, I came back to India 2009 December, and by which time, look, I was 50 plus. I've been a journalist all through my life. Okay, I went the publishing. I started my career with Macmillan. Then I worked in like Bombay newspapers. Okay, I worked in Free Press Journal. I worked in Midday Bombay. I worked in Independent. All kinds of things. So then 1992 January. I was living in Bombay for 11 years. I got sick and tired of traveling. So I said, enough of traveling. Let me get out of Bombay. But I enjoyed the life. I like the life. It's very fast. So 1992 Jan, I resigned from my Bombay job. Then they said, like, what is this nonsense? Yeah, come on. Like, what is the problem? I said, I can't be really traveling up and down. Like in Bombay, I can't afford a place inside the city. So I would like to go back to Bangalore because I was getting a job in Bangalore in business world or somewhere. So then they said, look, no, don't be silly. Would you like to go to Delhi? See, for every journalist, like one of the desire is to go to Delhi and report from Delhi, whether it's a politics or business or whatever. So मुझे तो अच्छा लगा, चलो यार, अभी मुंबई में तो स्टॉक मार्केट कॉर्पोरेट को तो देख लिया, 10-11 साल तो उधर रहकर ये सब कर चुका है. So अभी दिल्ली जाकर क्या करना देखेंगे. So I came to Delhi in 1992 Jan. उसके बाद again 30 plus years I've been in Delhi. And I worked with various newspapers. I worked with Ambani's Observer of Business and Politics. Then I worked with Business India Television. Then a lot of things I did. In 2004, I was working for Ubix, which is Vijay Mallya's company. That is where I
Right.
started blogging. Okay, I said, "Chalo, yaar," I was doing a lot of walkthroughs and all those kind of a thing. So then I started blogging. I mean, I really enjoyed. Of course, the blogging interest came because at one point of time, '98 or something, I was a news editor for Computers Today, which was a magazine from India Today Group. I was a news editor. Okay, it was a fortnightly magazine that time. Of course, subsequently it shut down. Okay, so that is where I first created my Hotmail mail ID. लेकिन वो किसी के पास होता है, वो जमाना में मेल आईडी नहीं है, मेरे पास मेल आईडी होने के बाद कुछ मतलब ही नहीं है, लेकिन लाइक आई यूज्ड टू, अरे यार मेरे पास
Email
मार्क
idea.
था ना वो दीवार में, तो वैसा मैं भी बोलता था मेरे पास हॉटमेल का मेल आईडी है. Okay, I mean gradually things happened, and
Mhm.
in 2004, I managed to get an offer to work in Muscat. I moved there. Okay, and when I came back, I like I said, I came back in 2009 December. When I came back, I was 50 plus, and I could have easily got, because being a print television journalist, I could easily got into any one of the place. But the problem was, the size of the ego was very huge. Yeah, you
Yeah.
see, you cannot go and go and work under the guys whom you groomed, or people who are junior to you, now they're occupying very senior position. So, लेकिन मैंने इधर उधर देखा है, then I noticed that there is no focus magazine logistics supply chain in India.
True.
Overstocking was only talking about air cargo kind of a thing, because that is where the advertisement was coming.
Right.
No transporter was advertising or whatever it is. Okay. So anyhow, two colleagues, two of my friends came and said that, look, why don't we start a magazine on logistics? I said, I don't mind, but it should not be only focused on air cargo. It must have road, it must have ship, it must have everything. And I said, I only handle the road part of it. I don't want to cover any, air cargo and ship cargo. It was agreed. Then we launched a magazine called Logistics Times. Okay, so that was also the time, I ran into a friend, a publishing friend from London, Louis Yokoyama. Okay, so he said, why don't you, write for me? They have a magazine called Automotive Logistics and Finished Vehicle Logistics. That was the first time I heard the term finished vehicle logistics. A simple reason. Okay, see, look, the car which you and I drive, in the good old, before the advent of Maruti, that is, I'm talking about early 90s. Maruti, so Udyog, it was called those days. Okay, so before the arrival of Maruti, the ambassador Fiat, each car used to be driven from either. Ambassador means Calcutta, Fiat means Kurla in Bombay. So suppose Pratik's father lives in Delhi. Your father buys the ambassador. So the ambassador car which your father bought will be driven all the way from Calcutta to Delhi to your dealer shop. From dealer, you take it over. So by the time you buy a car, it has already driven 1,000 plus kilometers from Calcutta to here, or from if it is a Fiat, from Bombay to Delhi kind of. So there is no question of 0 mile, 0 mile, cars. Okay, only Maruti came and Suzuki came and totally changed the concept. That is why the car carriers came. So my London friends said, look, in India there are 3 areas where cars are manufactured. Okay, so either in north where I'm living, okay, or in south, okay, where I am from, or west where I almost more than a decade I work. So I said, chalo yaar, and in the Middle East, it is only distribution. There is no production. So my guys said, London guys said, Ramesh, you have a chance of covering, both inbound, outbound logistics. Again, like a new terminology, new jargons, all this game. So I started, flying around. Okay, so see, logistics supply chain means, you really need to be at the plant, understand how it is being produced, okay, and how it is being distributed, all those kind of things. So do you know, in a car, there are more than 2,000 parts. So whether it is, Maruti Suzuki or, whichever car what car you drive?
So Indica is there.
Indica.
Indica.
So, whichever car you drive, see, it has all been assembled. See, Indica is from Tata, right? Tata Motors.
Right.
So, Tata Motors doesn't manufacture every single 2,000 parts. Okay, so they all buy from vendors, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 vendors, and assemble them. And possibly they only make the engine or something, and they all assemble in Tata Motors plant. Okay, the same way all the cars are made. So I started, flying around to, either south, to go to Hyundai or Ford, or go to west to, Tata Motors or Mahindra, or, or in the north, Bangalore to Toyota, or in north Maruti, all those kind of thing. I just, hopping. So whenever I used to go to the plants to understand the inbound, outbound logistics, I used to see, hundreds and hundreds of huge, trucks waiting outside either for load or they come to unload the parts. मुझे
Right.
लगा अरे यार एक बार तो ये ट्रक में चढ़कर देखना है, सवारी करना है.
Correct.
So 2010, like sometime in November, I told a friend of mine, a transporter friend who owns rather, okay, more than that time around 500 plus trucks. The company name was Mercurio Palia Logistics, based out of Gurgaon. So Vipul Nanda was the owner. He was a good friend of mine. Okay, so I told him, look, Vipul, I would like to travel in your truck. So original plan was to travel from with the Maruti load from Gurgaon to south, but somehow
Okay.
it didn't work out. Instead, it happened on the reverse way. So suddenly one fine day, I was told that would you mind traveling from Chennai to Gurgaon? I said, why not? Yeah. I flew down, and you won't believe it. The Vipul Nanda, the Malik of 600, very big man. Okay, he flew all the way from Delhi to Chennai to flag off my maiden truck trip. Out of on the outskirts of Hyundai in Chennai, along with the I-10, 10 cars of I-10, I traveled in a car carrier of 22 meters long over 6-7 days to Delhi. Gurgaon. The total kilometers something around 2,600 kilometers or something. I was thinking, अरे यार, वो मस्कट में, ओमान में जो मुझे देने हुआ, which I could not really enjoy or fulfill that desire. Here it got fulfilled. Okay, one shot over 6-7 days, I traveled 2,600 kilometers. I traveled like a Kalasi. You understand Kalasi? Kalasi is cleaner.
I'm also in logistics, so.
Yeah. So I enjoyed 6-7 days. I saw the life, how the drivers are being harassed by police, RTOs. Okay, what kind of support they get. Like एक बार load हो गया तो मर्जी का मालिक कहते हैं. And drivers are their own, they decide their own fate. किसी को नहीं सुनता. Like I always remember this, Salman Khan. वो किसी को नहीं सुनता. वो खुद का ही सुनता नहीं. Okay. So that was my first experience to truck, traveling in a truck. Okay. Then when I completed, I wrote a long diary kind of a story from a London publication. It was well received. Then, by the way, I did not tell my wife that I'll be sleeping inside the truck over 6-7 days. I told her that every single night, wherever the truck stops, see, I'll get into the nearest hotel, sleep there. Next day morning, it's a bullshit. I was just like fibbing. Okay. So then I came back. After that, only once I came back home, I told her that this is what happened. She was gasped. She said, "What nonsense this is? Yeah, bloody, you are an old man. You are a diabetic guy. All those kind of a thing happen." So then like इसमें रुचि आ गया. मैंने सोचा चलो यार एक बार तो देख लिया और भी कुछ करना है. तो फटाफट very short time I did 10,000 kilometers as a Kalasi in multiple directions across India. Okay, then same Mr. Vipul Nanda told me, look, Ramesh, why don't you write a book? Because his company was about to celebrate 50th year. Okay, Palia Transport. Okay, so he said, look, why don't you write a book about your 10,000 kilometer thing? Instantly the title was given by him, not by me. 10,000 kilometers Indian highways. Okay, so he said, write a book, put all your experience together. मजा आया. मैंने वो किताब 2011 November 18 it was released. Okay, उसके बाद मुझे ये डर लग गया. अरे यार, मैं 50 प्लस आदमी ये ट्रकों में चढ़कर ये 10,000 किलोमीटर कर सकते थे. बहुत यंग जर्नलिस्ट है वो लोग, like ज्यादा कर सकते. So like I really become very skeptical. So I said, चलो फटाफट करके और 10,000 किलोमीटर किया. So then I wrote my second book called Naked Banana. Of course, the title was very catchy, but it's all about the challenges a truck driver faces on the Indian highways and the logistics supply chain challenges. So then, as part of that, I started going and living in the villages of truck drivers with whom I was traveling. So I became something like a ethnographer, trying to understand what is what kind of a stuff. So then, like 2013, Fiat was opening a, parking yard in Ranjangaon near Pune. They said, I know most of the logistic guys in the automotive logistics segment. So they said, we had, like Mr. Kalpesh Pathak said, why don't you write a book for me for this Udghatan of, parking yard. Okay, and he said, top bosses from Asia Pacific are coming. So what did you do? I said, मेरा कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. I said, I like three things. I like travel, I like meeting the people at the bottom of the pyramid, and I like writing. और like ये तीनों चीज मिलता है तो मुझे क्या फटाफट करके लिख दिया. So the third book got like by this time I've done around 22,000 kilometers or something. I understood the psychology of a truck drive. That's what it happened. And subsequently, again, I would continue. And now I've done around 30,000 kilometers. Yeah. So I feel that, as of today, I've written 5 books. Just, a fortnight ago, my 5th book called Desh Chaalak. Of course, I'm not a Hindi guy, so all my books were in English, but the 5th book title was in Hindi. Okay, title was Hindi, but the, inside the stuff was all English. So it was sponsored by Mahindra Logistics. Incidentally, I must tell you, out of the five books, First and the third book was, supported, sponsored by Vipul Nanda of Mercuria Palia. And the second and the fifth book was by Mahindra Logistics. The second book was by a software guy who was making, software for yard management from London. He said, look, you write a book for me. So that's why I wrote a naked one. So everything, this kind of books are never sold on the book stand, but people in the industry who want to understand, okay, the logistics supply chain, they were interested and they bought. All put together, I was sold close to 10,000 copies of all my books put together. Yeah.
Perfect. It was great journey. So like I know you personally, and we have been interacting. So you talked about how you have traveled across country, how you come to know about drivers, all these things. I would like to know two things. The first, can you little bit explain more about Desh Chalak? It was recently in headlines, right, that Mahindra is working on drivers, and they are focusing on drivers, and then your books, we all know about all these things. But if you can little bit explain what is Desh Chalak, why it's important, and why have you focus on this book, that will be great for our viewers. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Pratik, see, look, I always love the underdogs. I'll tell you, for me, see, coming from Tamil Nadu, okay, where, the filmdom is the biggest thing, okay. So when everybody used to, praise Kamal Hassan to the, sky high, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, I used to back Rajinikanth, okay. For a
Right.
simple reason, he was a bus conductor, yeah. He was a bus conductor, bada banne ke liye koshish kar raha hai. So, I said, chalo, yaar, I will support you. So,
Right.
the same way, many times I always supported the underdogs or the bottom of the pyramid. I felt, because at one point of time, see, it's always said, like when you are young, okay, so before or possibly before marriage or something, your heart beats for downtrodden people. You are more
Mm.
likely a communist. Your heart beats for it. एक बार
Right.
शादी हो गया, बच्चा हो गया, then you start thinking, अरे यार, मेरा परिवार, I, me, myself, my family, and you start focusing on making money and building your career, and you totally forget about the people at the bottom of the pyramid. So same thing happened
Right.
with me also. Okay, so like I said, I always now I was noticing in the transport supply chain logistics segment. See, look, everybody was moving into a outsourcing model. See,
Mm.
देखिए मैंने बोला ना आपका गाड़ी है गाड़ी मतलब वो गाड़ी whether it's Tata, Leyland or Mahindra, they don't make every single part. So a lot of
Mm.
other vendors make it, and they all brought together and put together in assembled. In fact, I remember there was a time, people in the industry used to tell me, I used to live in Kurla, in my Bombay days initially. I'm
Mm.
talking about 1980. Okay,
Mm.
I was living in Chembur, which is hardly 5-6 kilometers away from Kurla, and Kurla is the place where Fiat plant used to be there. Kurla,
Mm. True. Yeah. Yeah.
Fiat
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Okay, so my friends in Kurla, my friends in Fiat, of course, and they used to tell me much later in life. They used to say that there are more than 10,000, 15,000 people used to work in the campus because everything needed to make the car was being made more or less within the campus.
Right.
Every single part was
Right.
made by them. But now everything has gone for outsourcing model.
Mm.
Okay, outsourcing का मतलब दूर दूर से कोई बनाता है. Like glass comes from somewhere from Saint-Gobain, makes glasses in Gujarat or Chennai or somewhere, or Japanese companies also make glasses somewhere in Manasar. Okay, they all go to Hyundai, all kinds of stuff happening. Okay, various
Yeah.
parts made at various places. These things are so. To make a product, you need raw materials or components that have to be brought. Nobody carries in the barbar के लेके नहीं headload लेके नहीं जाता है. वो गाड़ी में barbar के लेके जाना
True.
पड़ता है. Similarly, when the Gadi is ready, like I told you, it is a 0 mile. Nobody drives. Not every single car has been driven from the manufacturing site to dealer point. It's all Jaisa मैंने बोला, car carrier carries like 8 cars or 10 cars and all those kind of. So see, I started noticing. See, everybody was getting okay, implant like a logistic head, yeah, falana tikana. Everybody was getting the some important, but the lowly driver was totally ignored. अगर वो भूल जाओ ये सब. अगर आपका घर में 2 दिन पेपर नहीं आएगा, 1 दिन पेपर नहीं आएगा, तो 1 दिन दूध नहीं आएगा, तो आपका मम्मी चाय तो चाय मांगेगा, तो मम्मी चाय नहीं है, दूध नहीं है, तो चाय कैसा मिलेगा? चीनी नहीं है, ब्रेड
True.
नहीं है, अंडा नहीं है, आमलेट नहीं मिलेगा, और खाने के लिए कुछ भी नहीं मिलेगा. 2 दिन ये कोई ट्रक ड्राइवर है ट्रक रास्ता रोको कुछ कर दिया ना, आपका खाना में वाट लगेगा. ठीक है. So
Correct.
so that's the only day everybody realizes that there is something wrong with the transports. Otherwise nobody bothers about the transporters. So I felt
Mm.
that while the fleet owners have associations, car makers have associations, dalals, brokers have associations, agents have association, drivers don't have an association. They don't have somebody to represent their grievances, the voice. मैंने सोचा चलो यार मैं कुछ let me become the listening post for drivers. See, that is why I
Mm.
got into this. And very interestingly, see, these guys, they need somebody to pour their heart out. उनका खुद का
Right.
supervisor इनका बात नहीं सुनेगा. क्योंकि like
Correct.
truck driving is considered to be the lowest, like minimal occupation. There is no sex appeal. If you ask any driver, क्या काम करते हो, वो नहीं बोलेगा मैं driver है. Okay, so but he makes good amount of money. Okay, but it's considered to be beneath beneath the dignity to say that I'm working as a truck driver. Forget about anything else, truck driver. So that
Right.
is where my heart begins to beat for drivers. I said, chalo yaar, let me become the ambassador, spokesman, or a listening post for drivers' grievances. So एक
Right.
बार सुनने लगा तो एक के पास एक आने लगा. अच्छा पहले मुझे भी धक्का खाना पड़ा और बहुत गाली भी दे रहे थे. ये बुड्ढा कौन आया है? ओके, लाइक वो जमाने में मैं पैंट शर्ट पहन के जाता था. ठीक है, वो धीरे धीरे पता चल गया इसको नफरत है, पैंट व्हाइट कॉलर वाला से इसको नफरत है, क्योंकि ये शायद इनको मन में ऐसा घुस गया, मतलब ये इसको धोखा दिया है. तो बाद
Hmm.
में I shifted over to like half dryer, like ऐसा टी-शर्ट है, गमछा पहन के, like ऐसा चलने लगा. Then they start accepting me, they started discussing things. I become a part and parcel of the family. So I become a
Hmm.
listening post. Well, see, look, being a writer, all I need is some bloody spark. Somebody has, see, हर आदमी के अंदर बहुत कहानी छुपा हुआ है. वो बोलना
True.
चाहता है और लिखने चाहता है, बोलना चाहता है, लेकिन लिख नहीं पाएगा क्योंकि उसके लिए अलग हुनर चाहिए. उनके पास अंदर वो हुनर नहीं है. लेकिन बोलने के लिए कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन सुनने के लिए आदमी चाहिए ना. मैं
True.
बकरा बन गया. ठीक है, मैं सुनने लगा. जब वो कहानी सुनने लगा, मुझे तो लगा अरे यार ये कहानी सुन रहा है, ये तो let me give a shape to all the stories. So I became a storyteller. Okay, so once the story started coming, if you really read, I don't know whether you read any of my books, but even if you read any of my blogs also, so this is the same thing. Like the way I speak, I write. Okay, so it should be reader friendly. Okay, so I
Yeah.
should not be quoting like 22%, like a jump हो गया, वो मैं कुछ नहीं करने वाला. मैं बोलूंगा मतलब वो नीचे गिरा है, खून निकल रहा है, वो रो के मतलब मर रहा है. So ऐसा मैं लिखने
Hmm.
वाला. So I was trying to give you a real picture because I'm really seeing the real emotions. So like a lot of people felt happy reading this kind of stuff. So well, so in the process I made a career of it. And incidentally, you asked about the latest book,
Right.
Desh Chaalak. It is nothing but see, look, I mean, in a month I write at least 20 blogs. It's
Hmm.
all see, look, like a horse. I only look at highway, truck driver. ओके, उनका जो भी मन में दुख है, उनको कौन कौन लूटता है, उनको कौन कौन तकलीफ पहुंचता है, इनके लिए क्या निवारण दे सकते हैं, उन चीज के बारे में मैं हमेशा सोचता रहता हूँ. So
Correct.
once this become a passion, look, I don't treat it as a job. For me, it's
Hmm.
like I breathe, like they used to know Coca-Cola. I eat Coca-Cola, I sleep Coca-Cola, I do all kinds. The same way for me, truck driver, truck driver, truck driver. Okay. In fact, like my daughter used to tell me, if she opens my mobile phone, if she look at the contact list, it will be full of like a XYZ driver, XYZ driver, XYZ driver. Okay. So, and the other thing which she also used to tell me, if my daddy sees a beautiful girl on the road and a beautiful truck on the road, he'll chase a truck, not the girl. Okay. I become so fascinated with these guys. No, it's not an exaggeration, but
Hmm.
it really become like that kind of a fascination and infatuation, you can say. So look, like you see, and like over a period of time, like with the age also comes, you're able to extrapolate things. You notice one thing, suddenly you link it to the अरे यार हमने वो देखा, इधर देखा, उधर देखा, पूरा भारत देश घूम चुका हूँ, except in Mizoram and Kashmir. I had been to all the states in India. Okay, I
Hmm.
mean, out of which 30,000 kilometers as a Galasi. Otherwise, I traveled 2.5 lakh kilometers on Indian highways for the last 13, 14 years. Okay, so I know India like a back of my palm. Okay, you won't believe it. इतना किलोमीटर में मेरा खर्च कितना सोच सकते हैं? I would not have spent more than 25,000 rupees total. Because
Oh God.
yeah, the drivers used to tell me आप मेरा पिताजी का सामान है, ठीक है, सामान है आप,
Hmm.
ठीक है, लेकिन मेरा पिताजी हमारे साथ आने के लिए तैयार नहीं, लेकिन आप तो हमारे साथ आते हो, हमसे बात करते हो, लेकिन सब आप जो लिखते हो हमें कुछ पता नहीं है, लेकिन हमें मालूम है आप हमारे बारे में कुछ रॉन्ग नहीं लिखेंगे आप.
Hmm.
Okay, so I don't write anything wrong. It doesn't mean that I always praise them. I also hit them when they do some हेराफेरी, they cheat and they चोरी करते हैं. मैं उनको भी मतलब सीधा बोल देता हूँ, क्योंकि over a period of time I understood their lingo. Okay, once I started using their own jargon, they said like ये आदमी को आप धोखा दे नहीं सकते, ये हमारा हमारा आदमी, अपना आदमी, इनके साथ हम दिल खोल
Correct.
के बात करना पड़ता है. अगर हम झूठ बोलेंगे तो ये पकड़ेगा ही. So that kind of a bonding is developed, and this book is nothing but whatever blogs I written. Okay, so some of the selected 30 odd blogs have been put together. all these are kahaniyan. Kahaniyan, this is a real, like things happen to me, real stories. It's no fiction.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's all culled out. It is not like I imagine things and write. Like I said, what I experience, I write. Okay, all these things get reflected in this book. This is nothing but a collection of the selected 30 odd
Oh,
blogs. Yeah. So he talks about
perfect.
driver challenges because like these things will remind, because nobody pays much attention to truck drivers. Okay, I mean,
True.
imagine, recently the government, I mean, Mr. Nitin Gadkari has made, air conditioning that driver cabin, as like made it mandatory from 2025. Well, 2025 is another, 18, 19 months away. Doesn't matter, but it took such a hell of a time for India to really, even decide in their favor. Okay, okay. So I mean, the life is pathetic. One, there is no respect. I mean, I don't know whether you know. See, look, if you're a truck driver, like आपको शादी होना बहुत मुश्किल है. कोई आपको लड़की नहीं देगा. ठीक है, सो क्यों, क्योंकि एक लाइक घर में नहीं रहता है. अगर आप
Hmm.
गाँव का अगर आप महाराष्ट्र का आदमी है, तो लाइक शादी के बाद अगले तीसरा दिन आप तो निकल जाएंगे लोड लेकर, लाइक कोयम्बतूर लेके जाएंगे, नहीं तो इधर जाएंगे उधर जाएंगे. अरे यार, आई मीन देयर इज नो लाइफ. ओके, द
True.
staying away from home is a major challenge. Okay, so like, and then like these guys stay away from home, so they also get into a lot of like bad habits, smoking, drinking, and like a lot of other activities, including unsafe sex. Okay, all these things
Hmm.
happen. So naturally, if I am a daughter, if I am the father of a daughter, I'll hesitant to give my daughter in marriage to a truck driver. Okay,
Hmm.
it's tough. I mean, the truck drivers also understand. Okay, it's a, the social, there is a stigma attached to truck driving, but that's wrong. That's wrong. Not all the drivers indulge in those kind of things. I know very pious drivers who don't drink, who don't smoke, who don't take ganja, who don't drink any, like all those narcotic stuff. They're all very pure and they're all very rich as well. Okay, so if you don't have any negative habits, your earning is very good. In fact, when I go into the villages to live with the truck drivers, मैं वो like ड्राइवर लोग को मैं उसको पूछता हूँ, मैडम जी बताइए, आपका आदमी तो इतना पैसा कमा के दे रहा है, आप खर्च किस चीज में करते हो? Oh, see, very interestingly, all the drivers will have a piece of land, okay, where they grow the paddy. They'll have a cattle, so milk, dahi, lassi kisi to
Hmm.
hai. Then they have goat, chicken, so जब भी मटन का जरूरत पड़ता है, काटो, खाओ, okay. Then like they grow their like paddy, so captive consumption excess they sell in the market, okay. No सब्जियां, मतलब like vegetables also they grow. So they used to tell me, sir जी, हमें दो चीज खरीदना पड़ता है, एक matches और मसाला, ठीक है. And
Hmm.
like yes, this is the kind of a thing. And I mean, of late, all the drivers also spending a lot of money in this, educating the children. Okay,
Hmm.
so I mean, if you ask a truck driver, he'll say, "मेरा बेटे को रेल लाइन में आना नहीं देगा मुझे." But he will be spending a lot of money in educating his daughters. And I know of truck drivers whose daughters work in Wipro, Infosys, such big companies. Okay, and like I've been to gone and lived with them, and whatever I see in my house, all these things are there in their long haul truck drivers' house. Easily they make nothing less than 40 to 50,000 rupees per month, per group. But by the way, remember, none of them have a piece of appointment letter. It's all oral, contractual. Okay, अगर कोनो गाड़ी नहीं चलाएगा तो पैसा नहीं है, ठीक है. So पैसा
True.
स्थिति है. So this all I capture in my Desh Chaalak. Yeah.
Definitely, I'll make sure that everyone in our office visiting at ground and meeting drivers and other people in logistics. That will definitely be helpful for them.
Bingo, bingo. Thank you, Pratik. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, I'll definitely make sure. So thank you so much for joining. It was great talking to you. Anything you wanted to share for our viewers, like anything we wanted to say?
Nothing, no. I mean, whatever I want to say, I said it. Be a human. Treat a truck driver like a human being. By the way, September 17th is the driver's day. Okay.
Right.
So at least on that particular day, किसी को गाली मत देना, ठीक है? Hello, like hello, wave at them when you're passing on the highways. I mean, it need not be truck drivers, even a bus driver, even a tempo driver, even the guy who comes to deliver. आजकल तो हम like online में जी रहे हैं ना. So सब चीज like पानी से लेकर पान से लेकर like सब कुछ like डोर डिलीवरी होता है. वो जब डिलीवरी करने का आता है, वो लास्ट माइल डिलीवरी वाला like ड्राइवर है वो. Okay, you call them a last mile delivery delivery executive. ये नाम से कुछ मतलब नहीं है. So you behave like a human being, treat him like a human being. That's what my request to all the viewers of like whoever is watching this particular channel. Thank you, Pratik. Thank you very much for giving me an
Thank you
opportunity
so
to
much,
interact
sir.
with you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Bye bye. Take care, sir.